Motorcyclist.
Okay, now let's see if it's up.
I was so depressed when my dad retired from riding.
I saw the.
It was like, oh, that was crushing.
Why did that make you sad?
Because it was his thing. Like, he raced and everything. And then, like, you know, it was like 2 years ago. Like, he got, like, I think it was like 78th birthday. He was like, yeah, I'm going to sell my bike.
A 78?
Should be live mics, by the way, but you're good. You can keep talking.
Okay.
Kind of like, damn.
Wow.
End of an era.
Wow, he's pretty tough to be riding a motorcycle at 78.
Yeah, he's pretty durable. No, like, literally. I mean, 2 broken backs, 2 broken ankles, a fractured skull,
What?
multiple broken ribs replaced.
Oh my gosh! From what accident?
Many. You don't get all that in one. You got to spread it out.
Wow.
All right, we made it. Yep, that's good.
Did you ever ride?
What?
Did you ever ride?
I rode dirt bikes when I was a kid, but, like, honestly, it just was like, I didn't have what it took to go as fast as you needed to go. Like, you know, I mean, there's no lie. It just is what it is.
You were scared a little bit.
Yeah, to go at that level,
yeah,
like you know.
true.
Yeah. That's a motherfucker.
Because I mean, the reality is you're gonna crash and you're gonna get hurt. It's just a matter of when. There's not.
You think so?
I know so.
Wow.
What major rider in the history of motorsports has ever been uninjured?
Well, that is very true.
You know, I mean, at that level, the whole thing is you're pushing the equipment, the bike, everything there is to the limit, and that's the only way you stay competitive. So.
But don't you have better protection equipment though? If you're gonna, do that professionally?
There's definitely, but it's it's a dangerous thing. It's gonna happen.
Yeah.
You know.
One of my coworkers actually, he just hit a Harley. I don't know what kind, but he just pretty bad.
Yeah.
Some other
Yeah.
car got hit by a truck or something, a car.
Really?
I ended up giving you a number. I forgot.
Was it his fault though?
I don't know.
We can't help you if it's your fault. Yeah, hell yeah.
How is it ever your fault on a motorcycle?
Sometimes you do something dumb.
You do. You zoom in and out.
I got a case where the 2 people in the car are making a claim against the motorcycle guy who basically ran a red light and torpedoed the side of their car.
Really?
Yeah.
And is he alive?
Was it instant?
I don't know. I wasn't on the scene.
Wow.
Well, I'll tell you who is on the scene on the Bench Podcast. We're back on the Bench Podcast, live home of sports, music, and mayhem. Don't forget we're available on all, and I do mean all podcast streaming platforms, including here on YouTube. Please like, share, subscribe, all of that good stuff. What's going on, guys? We have Frankie in the building. Is that correct?
Yes, it is. Thank you so much for having me here.
Yes. Not a problem at all. And today, Frankie is going to be helping us, of course, as always. We talk about all trending topics in sports, music, and entertainment. And we got quite a few things to talk about today. We're going to be talking about 20v1. Is that good or bad for the culture here? Okay, we got a Georgia mayor arrested for giving alcohol to prisoners. That might be if I have to go to prison, I probably want to go to one of his.
Definitely.
I got something to say to Charleston White. I got a rant coming. Going to go pretty crazy on him. We'll see how that goes.
Good. I'm not a particular fan of his. I'm not a particular fan.
I am a
of
fan.
his.
That's the thing. That's the bad part about it. But just not a fan of what he had to say about Bethune Cookman here.
But excuse my ignorance, but who is he?
Charleston White is a guy who typically goes viral a lot. He talks a lot about like black culture, things like that. So he's on quite a few platforms. Got a huge following, and he just has his way of communicating and connecting to the black community. It's an ignorant way. Sometimes, but it works. It works, but sometimes it lands, sometimes it don't. This time it didn't land. And then of course we got
especially for you as a Bethune alumnus.
There you go. And then we have some NBA, NFL stuff to get to as well here. All right, Frankie. So talk about some of the stuff that you have going on here, and also I see that you're a big fan of hip hop music. I see
Definitely.
that you we a fan of a guy, Mook Boy. We like Mook Boy. That's one of my favorite artists as well. We was talking about that as well. Yeah. And then you said you might have a book coming out, things like that.
Yep. Man, I got so much going on this year. When I say that this year, 2024, was a season of the warrior, God called upon me. I didn't want to do it, and he made me do it. He took away some things that I thought was important. He took away some people that I thought loved me. I cried almost every day.
Did they
For 4
pass
months.
away, or they just got out of your circle?
I asked God to remove everything that wasn't for me.
Okay.
So different ways. Ain't
Definitely,
nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that.
Through that, I found inspiration. I realized that I love writing, and I forgot that because in middle school, I was so big on writing. So I wrote a book. It's called Still Winning. I'm going to be...
Oh, it's actually done.
It's done. I wrote it in 3 days.
Really?
It's 85 pages of me pouring out my tears. I'm crying. I'm happy. I'm spazzing out because people trying me through this whole time, but I got through it. I ain't get arrested. I had a warrant, but I ain't get arrested. And I came back from the dead. I'm here. So what's up?
There you go.
All right. Nothing wrong with that at all. Nothing wrong with that at all. All right, so we're gonna roll into a couple of these topics here and get to it. All right. Now, first, we might as well get into it. This Georgia mayor here arrested for storing alcohol for prisoners. Okay. Now, the article. When you read the article, it says that he's facing serious felony charges for leaving gin for inmate work crews. So you have your different work crews that are inside of prisons. Okay. What I like about it is he didn't favor one work crew. Okay. Yeah, it's a good thing.
Yeah, he seems like a good guy.
And he didn't leave it for one work crew. He left it for all the work crews.
Yeah,
He
exactly.
didn't favor one.
Even better guy. No favoritism.
Now, gin, I'm not a gin guy myself. You know what I mean?
I
never
love,
been a
but
gin guy.
I do love the idea that yeah, I'm gonna gift everybody some alcohol, but make it some really shitty alcohol.
Seriously, give me some tequila. Where's the tequila at?
We're going below the bottom shelf.
Beggars can't be choosers.
That's
right.
right.
That's right.
Yeah. Have you ever heard of anything like this before? I didn't even know this was like possible.
Nah, man, this is this guy's a pioneer.
Never.
Why would you want it? But serious felony charges is ridiculously overblown.
Yeah.
That's just crazy. I mean, maybe if a worker had too much gin and maybe wandered into traffic and got clobbered or something, there's got to be something more than a couple drunk prisoners to serve time.
Isn't that contraband?
It is contraband. Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why it's
Is that why? So serious felony charges, would it be the same? Is he facing the same time if he tries to help a couple of them escape? Isn't that the word you would use for that? Serious felony charges?
I don't think
Probably.
I don't think it should be serious. He was trying to help people out. People going through difficult situations. You know what I'm saying?
I think this guy maybe should get a statue outside the jail.
Something, definitely.
yeah.
Thank you for that, Mayor.
Maybe he's got a whole bunch of other shit going on, and he knows he's going to end up in jail.
That's what
and
it
he was
is.
just kind of softening the pillow.
Okay.
Not true. Making friends.
Yeah.
So maybe this is not the only thing this guy has
Yeah,
going
yeah,
on.
conjuring up some good. Look at the guy. I mean, he's got to be up to something.
Really? You gonna do that to him?
Yeah. Look at him. I guarantee you he has a personal alcohol problem.
Well,
I mean, that's not even. That's just a fact.
Oh, that was from his personal stash.
Well, yeah, I
Whatever
mean,
liquor he wasn't going to drink, he says, yeah.
but
why not?
he doesn't look like the guy that would leave much behind.
no. But you know what? In the picture, he don't look like he disappointed in his decision either. Look at him. He got his held. He's up. He's upright.
It's an air of defiance, I
Yeah.
think, yeah.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. When he does get locked up, those guys are going to take it easy on him. You know what I mean? It's not going to be many.
They might use a condom.
Oh my gosh! Really?
Nah, those guys going to have his back, man.
And some lube. They're going to have a back, all right. Jeez, Bubba.
Those guys going to have his back, man. Moving
Have him on his back.
Really?
moving on here. I wanted to talk about this as well. This 20v1. This phenomenon is going on. It's it's a viral thing for really quick for people who don't know. It's like you can line up 20 women or line up 20 men, and then they have the person of the opposite sex and the host, and basically just based off your appearance and maybe what you do for a living, how much money you make, whatever, within the first 10 to 15 seconds of them introducing that and that candidate. The people holding the balloons, the 20 people holding the balloons, will pop their balloons if they don't like the person's appearance, they don't like where they work or what they do for a living or what's some of
Just
their aspirations.
anything about him that they could decipher.
Yeah. They'll pop the balloon. That means they don't want them. And then the ones that keep their balloon, then the person will go up to them, see what they like about them and things like that. Now, Frankie, you had something you wanted to say on that?
Yes.
Do you think it's like, as far as for the culture, for black culture or what have you?
Let me just say, I am so disappointed in the black culture if this is what we believe in. If you think 9 times 9 is 14, you got a goddamn problem, and you shouldn't be on that goddamn show. You should be reading somebody's goddamn book. Okay? If you think it's cute that you could go on here and be disrespectful to yourself by wearing short stuff and basically just telling guys that you want their money and you don't care about them, then shame on you, because you're messing society up, because that's not what we were founded upon. I think society has lost its true roots. It really do, especially in the black community. We are so much better than this. I just don't understand. I was sitting on the sofa and I'm telling my boyfriend, and I'm like, hold on. Play that back again. They said California is in Australia. I was like, babe, this can't be a real show. So that's how I started watching it. Isn't that ridiculous?
Yeah. Did they have trivia questions in it?
Yeah, they do. They're grown women too.
It's different. Yeah, it's different. It's different ones. And they introduce these different little ways to be different. But
It's been my experience that women aren't very good at trivia.
Not these women. These women are somewhere between the ages of 19 and 25, and shame on y'all again.
What I mean, come on.
I think it's a good premise, because I think you want to eliminate the foolishness right off the bat. Why are we wasting so much time going out on
But we went to school. We went to school for 12 years, and you don't know what's 9 times 9?
I'm eliminating those.
So yeah, for those who can't hear, what she's saying in the back is that it's eliminating a lot of the stuff off front, or off Front Street. It's if a person isn't whatever, the person, you should know that
If they don't have a
person's
handle
what
on
you want.
basic math skills, we can get that out of the way.
But some of it is very like shallow, But I guess you know what you like as far as appearances and what a person does for a living. You know what I mean? Like, for example, one that went very viral was this this very muscular plumber guy. I don't know if
He
y'all
was
saw
so
that one.
obnoxious. First of all, I love his personality. I love his ego. But oh my gosh, and he was ready. That smile, you knew he was gonna give it to him.
Yeah, but that's because everybody had popped their balloon, and that's when he went off on like all the women telling them
So
about
he had
themselves.
nobody preserve a balloon.
Yeah.
Right.
And so then he got to just unload on these.
Yeah.
He got to
Oh,
unload
man,
on
you
each
should've
and every
seen
one
it.
of them.
Not perhaps in the way he wanted to unload.
Yeah.
No, he wanted to. He
But
wanted to. He enjoyed
They,
it.
they all popped their balloon once he said he was a plumber. That profession. They want somebody making more money, I presume. And that's just, that's real shallow. Because some of them women, some was just, only in school. Some of them nail technicians. Nothing wrong with that, but there's nothing wrong with being a plumber.
You got a job. You
Some
stable.
of those trades jobs make a lot more money than
They
some
do.
of those people.
They do.
Yeah, a lot of them make more money than you think.
Yeah.
For real.
For sure.
You
Then
know
a
what I
lot
mean?
of like office type jobs.
Yeah. And like he said, and afterwards he was saying how, like he owns his own plumbing business.
Mm-hmm.
So like he definitely makes more money than the average plumber. You know what I mean? So what if you popped your balloon on that guy because of...
I probably wouldn't have popped.
Oh, okay.
Correct. Yeah.
Just on that, based on that alone. Yeah.
It would have to be something else. Like I think I saw one where the guy had like a mask on.
Mm-hmm.
Something bizarre.
I saw that one too.
A balloon for that.
You popping a balloon for somebody with a mask on, yeah.
I would too.
Me too, because I can't see you. What did you hide in?
Yeah, if you're wearing a mask.
I think it's because he didn't have a shirt. He was trying to I guess promote his body or something. I think
okay.
that's what it was. He had the mask,
No.
He watched all of them.
Did
He
he
watched all of
actually
them.
did he take
watch
the
him
mask
take
off
off
at
that
some
mask.
point?
No, I swiped left.
You didn't even want to invest in watching the video clip.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe he had a big either that or
But then that makes sense.
Maybe-
That's all right.
But he only had like a little patch of hair.
Yeah, if he's a burn
okay.
victim, you get what I'm saying?
He makes humor out of what he do because he was sitting there laughing and joking about it.
You should. Why be sad about it? It's
He's
life.
viral though.
Yeah.
maybe he had an oversized herpes lesion.
Really?
It's possible. You wouldn't want anybody to know that right away.
You never know.
Wait till things calm down and
Christopher is saying that most people are shallow, and then plumbing is not considered an excellent occupation.
and exciting.
Exciting?
Yeah.
Okay.
What is considered
small.
an
The
exciting
words are so
occupation, Chris?
Nothing. I'm a nurse. I hate it.
What
I hate
what
it.
type of nurse are you?
Well, I deal with geriatric. That's the part. No. I love my seniors.
No,
I love my seniors.
I don't.
I go to work just to talk and laugh with them. I love them.
No.
What I don't like is the healthcare administration behind it and how the system is failing them and they're not getting the proper treatment and quality medications that they need and stuff. Simple, essential stuff that they deserve.
We're trying to wash
Nurses,
them out.
I think nurses are very cool as far as guys
We
dating.
are.
But I don't want
heard-
anybody in nursing school, and I don't want nobody. Definitely don't want nobody in nursing school and they have kids, because you're not going to see that person.
What you mean? I got kids.
And you were in nursing school.
Yeah, I got 3
wouldn't have been
kids.
dating you in that situation.
Yeah.
Nursing school is so hard. Like you
is.
have to study and all this, and then you
It
have
is.
kids. That means you have no time.
That's
what I'm
true.
trying to say.
I've heard
I've heard
that-
canceling days.
That's
You're gonna be
I've heard the nurses are kinky though.
What do you mean by that?
I'm sure.
What do you mean kicking?
Kinky.
Kinky.
What do you mean?
Erotic.
They're into-
Tell me.
what's some other
Explain.
They're
adjectives?
into different
Explain.
stuff.
Explain.
They're just into different sides.
I'm a nurse, so explain to me. Let's see. Let's
Well,
see
you
how
would know
kinky I am.
firsthand.
Go ahead, tell me. Let's see how kinky I am. Go ahead.
What are your thoughts on anal?
Hell no, shit comes out of there.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
What are your thoughts on spanking with a belt or paddle?
Baby, whoop me. I tell you that all the time.
Okay.
She's
You
into
warming up.
weddings and what have you. Golden showers.
Let's do it.
Oh, okay.
Let's do it. No, I get to do it back now too, right? All right.
Scat play
Okay. What's Scott play? Tell me what that is.
with shit.
Hell no.
I didn't really know what that was either.
No.
What about what about threesomes or moresomes?
I'm thinking about a threesome. I recently been thinking about that, yeah.
Threesomes or moresomes.
Yeah.
2 girls or 2 dudes?
One dude, me and another girl.
That would be 2 girls.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Solid. All right. What about like swinging?
I thought about that too. That keeps things interesting.
Does it?
Yeah.
Okay. Could also break you up, but hey. gotta
It
roll the
could,
dice
but it
once in
takes a
while.
strong individual for it.
You roll the dice.
Yeah. All right. That's solid. What about involvement of animals?
Hell no.
Okay.
Pink, what's going on?
Okay, what the fuck he talking about?
What is going
You gonna
on?
make me cuss your ass out. That's
This
what's
took
gonna
a crazy
happen.
turn there, man.
I don't know.
We went from balloons to animal sex play.
Okay.
Voyeurism.
The video stuff?
Like no, watching people have sex.
I don't want to. You can watch me. I don't want to watch you.
You're not into okay.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
one-sided. Okay.
But somebody can watch you.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm talking about live audience, not
I want
video.
you to watch me, baby. You gonna pay me though. You can watch me. You gonna pay me though.
That's prostitution.
Well, I do it in.
No, it's not.
I go to LA and get my license.
Basically, video. Yeah, basically.
What's that?
That's not prostitution. That's only.
OnlyFans.
No, I'm saying live, not over a video feed.
Well, for the right
But
price,
if
it's
you're
gonna
gonna
be
get-
called
but
Only Frankie.
OnlyFans is prostitution too. Yes.
Why,
If you're
why,
pre-
why,
Well,
do
that
you, why
mean
do you think
Pornhub
that?
is.
If you're performing sexual acts for money, it's prostitution.
But I'm not naked.
It
I
doesn't
could be
matter.
playing with
You
my
could-
feet or
you
having
could
my
be
hands
full-
up or
you could
something
be
like
fully
that.
clothed sucking a dick. I mean, it's
No, let's
They're mutually exclusive.
take the genitals out of there. But if I'm on there putting on my makeup, is that prostitution?
It ain't sex if genitals aren't involved.
If I'm putting my makeup
He's
on it,
swaying
is
me a
that
little
prostitution?
bit. It could be.
That's nothing to me.
Huh?
Prostitution.
That's nothing.
You're providing a service for a fee.
Providing a service. for
Right,
free.
and if
that's
if, if,
essentially
but if,
what that
but
is.
if, But if the service is, I want you to sit on this suction dildo while I watch,
You was
it's
wild.
still prostitution. Okay, we could fight.
I'm in between. I see both sides of this. I don't know.
Yeah, let me hear your thoughts. You hearing ours? Let me hear your. What do you think about that?
I'm on both sides of the fence there. It could be prostitution. I see what he's saying. Because you are providing the service. It's entertainment.
Like you're not.
I want to be entertained. I just want to watch it.
you're not going to go sit on that dildo if I'm not paying. Like that's what I'm saying. Like you're.
Well, maybe
you're,
she is.
No.
I'm sure she is.
But you're not watching. That's what
Yeah,
she said.
Yeah.
Like you could go perform whatever sexual act you want.
Right.
But if I have to pay to watch it, now it gets
Now
to a level
it's-
of prostitution.
Yeah.
I think it's a membership. I think it's a goddamn smart
is.
plan for something you're gonna do every day.
In your
anyway.
mind, prostitution is the old school. I'm in person. I'm paying you for a sexual
And
act
I
of service.
even have a problem with people getting arrested for that because I think
Well, I'm not saying
yeah,
I'm not
yeah.
saying
we're not
it
saying
should
it's
be
right or
illegal.
wrong. Yeah,
I'm
legal
not
or
saying
not
it's
legal.
right or wrong.
Yeah,
I'm just
yeah.
saying it is what it is.
Yeah.
You're paying money for essentially sexual erotic service.
I think we're a pro prostitution podcast here. Yeah. We're not. Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah. Yeah. It's
do,
not.
do what you do.
That's it, man.
Well, I also think most conventional relationships are forms of prostitution too. So,
What do you mean by that exactly?
like, if you're like paying for dinner and then getting laid afterward, you basically
That's
pay for it.
prostitution to you?
Yeah,
I
pretty
think we
much.
had a good time, and now I'm feeling a little woozy, and come get some of this.
Yeah, nah.
You know, I had my first. I was an official sugar daddy.
Please tell what happened.
Yeah. I went to.
Was this recent?
I don't know. It could have been 1,000 years ago. It could have been recent.
Back
And
in the time,
I
in the
went to-
time of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ.
I went back to homecoming one time. Like I said, it could have been 1,000 years ago. Went back to Bethune-Cookman homecoming.
Could also have
And
been
I
a
met
nice
the-
football season.
And I met this girl. She younger, maybe about 21 or whatever.
Legal for sure.
Yeah.
All right, R.
She's
Kelly.
not. She wasn't actively in, but even if she was in the school, she's still legal. But anyway, she was about. This girl had.
Unless
was
she's
about
one of
21.
those child geniuses.
She was like a junior, senior, whatever. And she was out of my league. All right, she was out of my league. You know what I'm saying? She was fine as a motherfucker.
What made her out of your league,
She
if you don't
was-
mind me asking?
She was. Yeah, she was.
Bubba, if you're a baseball man, Bubba's like a double A guy.
What that means?
Like, not quite the highest tier of the minors.
You think so? Why you think that?
I know some things.
So my way to get there was I was I was like I just went ahead. This is my first time and only time I've ever done this too. It's like, have you ever had a sugar daddy or whatever? She's like, no. I wasn't. So she's like, so break this down, So I'm telling her like, well, you come by, we do what grown folks do or whatever. Anytime you need your hair did, your nails done, whatever, you need some food, whatever. I'm your guy.
Well, hold on.
So then-
Is this still available? You still looking for
Nah. So then we get
The door that never closes.
we start this this contract, this engagement, whatever.
Oh.
We started.
Did you reduce it to writing?
Well, here go the thing.
Or a couple text messages?
We go to doing it. Well, like she would come over, right? But I wasn't getting nothing.
What you
But
mean?
I was paying for the hair,
Companionship?
paying for the
There
nails.
was always an excuse why she couldn't perform?
Always.
What was it?
She smoking all my She was cleaning me out.
Damn, Bubba.
So I had to cut that off. You know what I'm saying?
So you never got no return?
Never got no sugar.
You got
Aw.
nothing.
I was only the
man.
daddy.
You got a total blank?
Total
Oh,
blank.
man. I'm glad you went back to your day job.
Total blank.
I'm glad you went
I
back.
c- yeah, that ain't for me. I don't know how to. You know what I mean?
Damn.
Yeah.
That's tough.
That is tough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man.
So when did you realize that you were?
Yeah, how long did this take?
That's a good question.
I probably
I hope we're within 7 days.
I hope within a day.
nah, because it was like I gave her a chance. But as I'm giving her a chance, yeah, I'm getting cleaned out. It was tough, man. It was.
Yeah.
But
it
I
was
still
tough.
ain't hear no date, Bubba.
Yeah,
What's up?
30 days?
Yeah, probably about a month. Damn. Probably about a month.
That's tough.
You
How
probably
much
had
money?
about
How much
4 or
money you
5
think is
encounters.
fine?
I ain't spend too much.
How
I
much?
ain't go crazy.
Throw me a number.
Maybe 500 total.
Really?
Really? What was you doing, boy?
Yeah,
What was you doing for somebody you don't know like that?
He could have just gone straight to the street hooker and
That's what I'm saying.
went around the
You
world.
was paid too much for
That
to
street
not get
hooker
nothing.
didn't look like this, but I was a
Hey,
boo.
you didn't benefit one bit.
There's a lesson learned, right?
Lesson learned.
Are you a better man for the
And
experience?
who knows? That could just be a funny story that I made up.
It could be. I hope so.
Probably not. Come on. It was too rich in detail.
It was.
Once again, you guys are on the bench podcast with Bubba and Pink, home with sports, music, and mayhem. We're available on all podcast streaming platforms, including here on YouTube. Please like, share, subscribe, all of that good stuff. All right. I had another one for you guys if I can find this here. Here it goes. Do you guys know about all of this weight loss things here with Ozempic is like
Ozempic,
the
yeah.
main thing now. And then of course you have all of these surgeries, training surgeries
Yeah.
as well. There's been a lot of research to say that Ozempic is really not the way to go. That's like the recent studies.
It has long-term effects. It will affect and fill your organs, and you will be out looking stupid. So Ozempic was actually created to fight diabetes. People figure it out. It causes you to lose weight, but you're losing this weight at a rapid rate. You get what I'm saying? And some of that water your body needs for your brain molecules, for your spinal cord. You get what I'm saying? So you're causing some long-term issues here if you really don't know what you're doing.
So it causes you to lose weight by like essentially kind of deal like
craving your hunger, so you're not as hungry, so that
Okay.
it's that
And the
glucose
and
hormone you got in your body.
But,
glucose is
but
sugar.
there's something about the water retention too as part of it.
Yeah, it pulls it. Yeah.
Okay, so you essentially dehydrating yourself.
Pretty much, essentially.
Yeah. My thing on all of this is I want to stop watching commercials for any of these fucking medications.
That's true.
It is so ridiculous that like you're watching so many commercials on medication, prescription medication.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you have a problem, go to the doctor. They can give you whatever the fuck they want to give you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need to watch my television show and find out about Ozempic or all these other things. I don't give a shit.
Well, they're just informing the public correctly. Because
the public doesn't need to be informed.
well, hold on. If you take one medication for a blood pressure, did you know one blood medication may reduce your blood pressure, but it's gonna cause you to get a headache, you'll feel dizzy, you'll feel nauseous.
Yeah.
But is
I hate
that what you learned from the commercial of the guy like throwing his daughter in the grass field?
Well, eventually you'll hear the whole commercial.
you
You get
won't.
what I'm saying?
That
Eventually
part's-
you will hear the
that
whole
part is
commercial. You
not
are
in-
informed.
That part is not in the commercial.
Right, the side effects are like mumbled through.
Tiny print.
You don't really. That's the conversation you're supposed to be having with your doctor.
That's
But-
what like all of this should be with your doctor.
Your doctor don't want to have that conversation. I'm here to tell you, fuck with your nurse practitioner. Your doctor don't care.
Or go like me, just don't go to the doctor at all.
Well, no,
Come
you
on, man.
gotta go.
That's,
You
that's
gotta
too
go.
far.
You gotta go.
Not at all.
Your health is number one.
I'm fine.
Well, you know what? I take that back. Some people, a lot of my veterans say that they have not been to the doctor until they got into assisted living, and their life was a lot better before they started going to the doctor.
100%.
So I understand that. If I don't know, it's not hurting me. I get that. But if I do know, I can do something about it, and I can be here longer for my family. You get what I'm saying?
I've had a good run. Elvis has left the building.
You know what?
No, here's the thing.
Taking it from
I
a-
have
go ahead.
no interest whatsoever in living in an assisted living facility or living in any manner. Hell yeah. I have no interest in living in any manner below the standard that I currently have.
Well, I agree with that.
And that's it.
I agree
So, like,
with
if
that.
I start
100%.
getting-
People could come visit you and create some of those
Yeah.
environments.
What's that?
Your people could come visit you and create some of those environments.
What environments?
For you to be in assisted living by the ocean
When I
or
no
something
no
like
when I here's the
Jupiter.
deal. When I
Create
can
a home environment.
When I can
A home-like environment.
Time out.
Yeah, home-like environment.
Here's the deal. When I can no longer play basketball
Mm-hmm.
or fuck, I need to die.
They're screwing a lot.
That's fine. But what about basketball? I need to be able to do both.
They have a lot of active adult
Can I see him?
communities.
I can see
have
him
a
in
lot
that
of
environment. They have those
Yeah.
angry men. They got him in
I
there.
wouldn't be there.
'Cause my sister used to work. Yes, you would.
No, I wouldn't be there. I'm telling you. I'm not going.
Why? What's so bad about it?
I have no interest
Have
in
you
living in that
have you
circumstance.
Well,
have you
if you
told your
need help.
kids you don't
Yeah,
want to
they
be
know.
there?
Yeah, hell yeah, they know.
Okay, because that's
Yeah,
who's
they
going to
know.
determine
That is
They
true.
know.
Okay.
Did you got it? Do you got it in writing? You should.
No, I'm not a big writing guy.
No, as
Well,
long
you
as they
should.
know, that's all.
They know.
That's it. That's
No,
it.
because
They
they
know.
still could decide that they don't want to do what Dad say. But if Dad
No,
got
that's
it in
what I'm
writing,
saying.
you
Oh,
know,
I see
they
what you're
can
saying.
respect your
Then
wishes.
I will do what's necessary.
But you are unconscious, so how are you going to do
I'm
it?
not
Not
unconscious.
unconscious.
Well, I'm just
but-
saying, if you work in the event,
That's
No.
worse.
why you want to wait? You get what I'm saying? You have to start planning ahead.
Just
of time.
digging a
So
hole
put
and
it on
flipping them
paper.
over.
We'll be fine.
Listen, I don't know if you're joking. The basketball is not going to last much longer.
I know.
But the
ready to
screwing
go.
the screwing can go for a long time with how we're at today. You have to live with
Okay,
that.
time out though. Like when you get that much older, like what are you screwing?
And
Like
how
other
often are you
geriatrics?
screwing? How
That's not
often are you
super appealing.
screwing? Like, why is this so important?
No, it's just I want to be able to do.
That's what I'm telling the villages. Yeah.
So once a year or so.
Make sure you protect yourself.
How often you want to
The
do
highest
something like that?
STD. Yeah.
How many
highest-
times?
times a week.
The village.
You won't be able to keep up with somebody like that?
That's my point of what I'm saying is if I can't play basketball or fuck
didn't
regularly,
see-
I don't need to be here. My job is done.
Okay.
That's all. That's what I've said.
No.
Nobody's changing my mind on this.
What about your kids and your
They
future?
have a life to live.
How old are you?
53.
Come on, man. You ain't old enough to be no.
Did I?
What you
I'm
talking
playing
about?
basketball today. Like I'm fine.
Yeah.
I'll let you know when I'm not.
Yeah, you just
Right,
projected.
right.
I know.
Okay.
I understand.
I'm just telling you what the criteria is for continued life.
Yeah.
When we
yeah.
get to that point, we get to that point.
That's important.
Okay. I look at this from just from a different angle. I hate coming across, and it's you could call it shallow, call it what you want. I don't like dealing with women who have taken Ozempic or has the weight loss surgery. It's something in my mind I just can't. I don't know. It bothers me.
Do they tell you though?
You can tell. For one, you can tell, and two, some do say.
Well,
that.
no,
Some do
surgery.
come
I
out and tell you.
surgery. I get.
I'm talking about surgery.
Oh,
more
okay,
so
okay,
than
okay. I was
Ozempic.
gonna say, like, is there some telltale signs
Well-
that somebody's on Ozempic? Like, if you didn't know them.
Well, rapid weight
no, but
loss
I'm
causes
saying
your
if-
skin to get loose, so you're
Well,
going to
okay,
see some
okay,
stuff. You get what
okay.
I'm saying?
Yeah, but I'm saying if it's somebody you didn't know for a long time and you have no idea, you just meet
That's
them
true.
and they appear to be the size they are.
That's true.
Like I imagine it's hard to tell unless there's something else.
Weight loss stuff, or are you talking about the BBLs and the
He talking about the weight loss.
Weight loss stuff, but yeah, I'm not a BBL person either. I'm not a BBL person either, but
No, I'm anti-plastic surgery.
yeah,
are?
just that's
Why?
yeah, just yeah.
I think it's addictive to the person getting it, and I think it may look good for a moment, but in long term, you're gonna look like a fucking mutant.
I've had Botox.
You think so? I don't think so.
Look at
I'm
little-
with her.
Look
But
at
see,
with
it's,
her.
it is like a tattoo. Once you
yeah,
get one, you gotta
yeah,
keep going.
Yeah, because
You gotta keep going.
you think it's
Afford it, I'll do it.
you think it's
That's
now
true.
in your hands to control, but then you end up like little Kim and.
You must know a bunch of people who had a lot of surgery.
No, I mean, you see it publicly, like public figures do, and they look like fucking shit.
Yeah.
You know, and then you look at people
Little
like
Kim is a freak
there's
show.
this ancient lady at the gym, and she has like these enormous fake boobs, but she might weigh like 80 pounds.
Yeah.
No, come on.
I'm serious. Like she's like below
Like that
5
looks
feet.
awful.
It
Yeah,
looks
it does.
ridiculous.
It does.
Yes,
Yeah, it looks awful.
it looks ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's I'm like,
Notice them every time you go in.
You see?
Because-
Why do he notice them? You get he likes them.
would you
Man,
notice?
mans,
would
mans
you,
don't know
would
what
you
they want.
notice, You know, would you notice a guy with 2 fucking heads? I mean, I'm probably you would notice it. I mean, you can't not notice it. It's like, what the fuck?
Do you look at that first? What do you look at first when you see somebody like that?
An old geriatric person?
No. Somebody
I
that
tried
got their body
I
done.
tried
Do
to
you,
slyly look the other way. I'm not acknowledging it.
No, you go straight to the boobs and they're
what about you? Do you
Double
look,
Z.
Do you look at what? How do you? What do you
I'm
think
not,
about that?
I'm
when
not
you
a
see
boob
that?
guy at all.
I look in disgust.
You
I
an
don't want
ass
anything to
man?
do with it.
More of an ass man, yeah.
I didn't know white people could be an ass man though.
Hey, some white people.
Yeah, but I don't want any parts of that. I don't want any part. And also, it's like what happened to the grind, man?
What
about
you
just-
Which one are we talking about?
Besides that, is you take them out.
You got a dirty mind.
Yeah.
You can have like a really low tab.
They're not gonna eat that much.
Potential sugar daddy.
That could work.
Wait, you want a starving person as your?
Well, I'm just saying the Ozempic, like the other side to that.
The other
Oh,
side to somebody
keep
taking
costs
Ozempic.
down on the meals. Yeah,
Yeah.
true.
But the medication is expensive if you don't got insurance. It's well over $800.
Make sure
a
you
month.
make sure you have a well insured.
But insurance companies are not paying for it no more because they understand what everybody's doing, and that's not what the FDA intended.
Yeah.
All right.
I had there was one of the moms at my son's high school. She's a nurse practitioner.
Right.
She opened up an office just for that.
She opened up an office just for.
It's popular, very, very popular.
Ozempic.
Oh,
and weight
to
loss.
okay,
Just
to sell Ozempic,
like a weight loss clinic, basically.
And she is making more money now.
I'm
than
sure.
She worked at the hospital.
But here's
Oh, wow.
here's the problem with that. For the people who are diabetics, real diabetics, they don't have it now.
Right. The medication is for the people who have the haves. And
There you
Yeah.
go.
That's for the have not the have nots.
That's true.
No, that's true.
All right, give all your Ozempic back. Get it to the people that truly need it, and get your fucking commercials off my TV.
Oh man. All right, yeah, that was pretty good here. I want to give a quick shout out here now. Pink, I did this before, but I kind of mispronounced the name. All right, so I got to do it all over again.
Okay.
All right. So this entire episode is powered by Aplomo Tequila. Now, Pink, I met two of the owners for
Two of them?
Aplomo Tequila.
How many owners are there?
There's several. This is a huge company, and this
Oh,
is
I
a
didn't
great
know this.
tequila.
Okay.
This tequila is so smooth, man. Now, right here, okay, I have the Reposado version of this tequila. Okay, you want to take a shot of it? I can get you a shot of this tequila. Yeah,
give
for
her a
sure.
shot, yeah.
Now, this is the Reposado
Can
version.
you put
but
some in my McDonald's cup? I'm serious.
You want to take a shot right there?
This tequila here comes in three
We're
age
about that
varieties.
life.
You about that
Okay.
life?
This
He said he about that life. I got a test for him in a little bit.
This tequila comes in three age varieties, okay? The Blanco is young, clean, and crisp, okay? The Reposado is just under a year, woodsy and flavorful, alrighty? And the Añejo is up to 2 years, rich oak and warm, great for cigar pairing, for anybody that's really into tequilas and that know tequilas. And I'm telling you, man, this tequila is really smooth, has a rich flavor, Aplomo Tequila.
Are you a tequila connoisseur?
I am. I
you?
am a tequila connoisseur.
Have you had a chance to try that this year?
Yeah, the bottle's already
Did you
quarter.
not see half the bottles?
No, hold on.
Did you not
I'm
see half the
I'm
bottles
trying to
gone?
see something. See how well he know tequila. Now, do you like that better than you like Casamigo?
Yeah, Casamigos is it's a mid tequila.
And where would you
But
rate
it's
that
okay.
at?
This is a premium tequila, but
So it's above that, you saying?
Yeah, this is a premium tequila, but it's at a very reasonable price. That's why it's really
How much
gonna go
is
and
that
take
bottle
off.
you're holding right there worth?
You have to go online and check it out at a Aplomo Tequila.
You don't
Because
know the
sometimes they
retail
have
value?
deals. You know, sometimes they have deals if you go on their website.
Wait,
things like that.
is this only available online, Bubba?
They are, and this is. They started out in Atlanta, Georgia, so they're all over Atlanta. They have come to Florida, Central Florida area, okay? But most likely you will catch it
Where did they come?
online. In online store. In the online store. Yes.
No,
yes.
you know what?
Hey,
just
come on,
because-
time out. It may be your first time in the studio, but
Aplomo.
Bubba doesn't
Aplomo.
spend a lot of time promoting white business.
like because
It does have one of the owners is white,
Oh,
okay,
damn it.
but the majority
number.
the majority owners are black. Okay, this is based out of Atlanta, Georgia.
No, I'm gonna need a
Yeah,
shot of that
Aplomo
right
tequila.
now because it's black.
Go ahead, yeah.
Come on, give me a cup or something.
Yeah, I don't have a cup ready.
You got a cup, babe?
I see he's drinking his out
Okay,
the bottle.
let me see.
Hey, just bottle swipe it. Let's go.
First of all, how you open this? Okay.
I don't know. Bubba's the technician.
Oh yeah, you got a red cup over there.
There's
There you
red solo
go.
cups. Yeah.
It's cold. You had it in.
Yeah, I had it in the
40%.
refrigerator. Yeah, I had it
Okay.
in the refrigerator.
I like the red. Is my favorite color.
You want to? Yeah, she wants it.
You want
yeah.
to try some too?
Hey, Bubba, this is a step up from
Now
your
I know the owner, so don't. You don't have to be shy. I can get more bottles.
Okay, listen. No, but
No, I'm good, I'm
listen,
good.
and because Bubba said
Yeah,
he
go
like
ahead,
drinking,
try it out.
I'm gonna pour you a little bit extra, okay?
Not a little extra, just a little.
No, you
Right
said
there,
you
right
like
there.
it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, y'all pour it up.
There we go. We
It
drinking
smells good.
Aplomo Tequila.
It smells
Yeah.
good. Okay.
There you go.
All right, y'all got to stop me because I love to drink. Okay.
I could tell.
All right, so I'm finna try this. All right, I'm not a big drinker like that. I'm a social drinker, so I usually drink around the holidays. So if I like this, then it's good.
That's right.
Are we doing our synchronized shot here, or what are we doing?
I'm gonna take mine first. Now I'm probably gonna make an ugly face, but don't let that discourage you.
But
Okay. Uno, dos, tres. Not bad. It ain't even do no ugly face.
Now what I'm telling you, it's that
you
smooth.
took it down.
Woo.
All right, here's mine.
Not
Yeah.
bad. For real.
go.
And what you
Smoother than what
drinking?
he
Do
drank.
say what you drinking.
Smoother than Douce.
Tastes like jet fuel.
Not bad.
Yeah.
Nah, it do
Pink
burns
is
a
not
little
a
bit,
tequila, man.
but it's not bad.
Tequila tastes at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It ain't gonna not taste like tequila.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Way smoother than a lot of shit.
Right.
There you go.
Now, on special occasions, I'm good for a couple shots.
Yeah.
Really? We're gonna have to test that out.
Not today.
I'm gonna have to get some drinkers, and we're gonna have to test this out because he talk a lot of stuff. Now I like you because you're spunky. I love that.
Spunky.
Yeah, you're spunky. You got some fight up in you. I like that.
Yes, I do.
Spunk. All
Say
right.
the stuff about Charleston White because I'm not a big fan of it.
I did not get to that yet. I can
Wait,
get
did
to
you
that.
ask him if you missed it, basically?
Yeah.
How much
I didn't get
tequila
to that.
did you have?
She just took a shot.
Jesus Christ, we've been locked in for hours.
With that.
Yeah, it's coming. It's coming really soon. I was gonna get to one more thing and then get to that.
Please,
'Cause,
please let my guy Bubba dictate the show.
We're gonna get Frankie off before we get to it because it's
I have to go to work. I have to go see my senior patient.
Hey, enjoy a good bedpan joke.
Excuse me.
good bedpan jokes. Do you have anything you want to talk before you exit? Before you leave here?
Yes,
Okay.
I do want the world to know, okay, although we're facing a very, very difficult time, please try to stay calm, try to stay happy and have peace, and try to understand that other people are going through difficult situations. So if they are mad, don't necessarily think that they're mad at you. And for whoever my president is going to be for 2025, God damn it, do something. We tired. We're struggling. Shit. And that's all I have to say. Y'all have a good night. And again, Bubba, thank you for having me on your show. And thank you. I hope to fight with you a little bit more about something important.
Like the fate of old people?
Yeah. And why y'all shouldn't nut so much.
What?
And why y'all shouldn't nut so much.
Shouldn't nut so much?
You shouldn't. It's bad for your heart.
No.
It's bad for your heart, Bubba, isn't
That's
it?
what you heard.
I heard that.
Yeah,
It
you're a
gives your
nurse now.
heart
Don't spread
gives-
false information
it gives-
as a nurse.
Who gives a
Because
damn?
I thought it was a good
What'd
thing.
you say?
Who gives a damn about that?
You okay with having a heart attack by having sex?
Yeah. What, would you rather burn alive? Fucking drown? Get devoured by some pit bulls? I'd rather have a heart attack dropping a load.
You want to die or get an erection?
Why not?
I ain't gonna care.
I mean, if your options.
if I have to go, I mean, you know.
What you think about that, Bubba?
Yeah, if I have to go.
Seriously?
I don't want to go, but if I have to go.
Well, I mean, so, like, think about what you just said.
I'd rather go that
Would
way
you-
than
would you
go in my
rather-
sleep.
Would you rather have a 5-year battle with colon cancer? Like, come on.
No, I want to go in my sleep, though. Let me go out happy.
That's a fair argument. I'm not mad at that.
Yeah.
After.
After you come?
There you go.
Well, that ain't a bad idea. I trip too when I don't do it.
We could rewrite Brian McKnight one last load.
Hey, but man, do you have one song that we need to check out? Maybe I can play next week or so. Give me one song.
Well, listen,
That's
look,
up. That's up.
Boston Richie, thank you so much for helping me. I love that shit. I get in my zone with it. My boyfriend actually made an open verse to it. We finna play it now. I hope you actually enjoy that. If Bubba says it's okay.
I can't. I have to because I
Next
pre-make the
time.
show.
Okay,
yeah,
I will send it
That's
to
why I
you.
said for next time. Yeah,
Yes.
because I pre-build the show.
Yes.
For sure. I just did an open verse to Boston Richie.
Who you are, though?
And it's up.
With 12. I'm gonna have it on my YouTube by tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it'll be up by the time I will play it.
But
okay.
it is on Instagram now.
Well, shoot the link and then we can incorporate it
Yeah.
into
into
week.
next show.
All right, for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
But
yeah.
I got a song called Creep though. If y'all want to check that
Can he
out.
come over here so the people on the camera can see him?
Yeah, sure.
Come over here.
Just come in the camera view.
Right here by me.
Just say your your artist name and where they can find you at.
Hey, what's up? My name Femo. Y'all can follow me on Instagram at Femo_Dre. That's FAMO_DRE.
Okay.
And then fuck with my YouTube, Femo. Fuck with my TikTok, Femo. Everything, all platforms.
You just doing music on TikTok, or you have some of those funny videos too?
He
What
has
you
some
doing?
funny videos.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
You mix it up
So
a
you're
little
doing
bit.
it right. You're
Little
doing
bit
it
of-
right.
little
You'll
bit of
catch some
both.
fans that way. Okay.
Yeah, music videos, all that. A lot of content, a lot of big Florida rappers I be collabing with, all types of shit. So yeah.
Okay.
And he just came back from tour with Kevin Gates back in February.
Oh, that's awesome.
Nice.
This
That's
is second tour with Kevin Gates.
Okay.
Nice.
All right. Well, appreciate you guys.
Definitely.
Make sure you send me that link. I'll
Yeah.
I'll hit you up tomorrow about it, and we'll see you next time.
You know, I want
We're
to
gonna go
tell
to a
I want
quick
to tell
break
your
and play.
viewers how I found you though.
Go ahead.
Okay. So I was scrolling through Instagram just seeing what's going on and looking up news and stuff, and then I seen this guy. He talking to my favorite, first of all, Moot Boy. So besides seeing Moot Boy on there or whatever, I started hearing him talk about political views and black culture and just hip hop, and I was like, I don't know you, but my name is Frankie. I want the opportunity to come on your show.
That's exactly how it happened.
There it is.
All right. Well, appreciate you for coming on, and we'll catch y'all
Absolutely.
next time. All right.
Absolutely. Have a great night.
All right. On the bitch. We'll be right back. All right. 2 minutes. We'll be right back.
I told you, lay that I love you. If I didn't, darling, I'm sorry.
I'm a real street nigga, we not the same thing. 40 on my wrist and it's a plain Jane. Just to pay the rent, we had to slang cane. Hope nobody have to endure this pain. Yeah, product of my environment, we came from these streets, yeah. Hey. In my short time on this earth, I still ain't met a nigga fucking with me. All a young nigga know, just tryna stack it high. Drive up in the city and I gotta text you now, yeah. A mill up out these streets still won't be satisfied. Gotta get these fuck niggas, I'm a fade. 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 I swear I never seen profit till I found out what the powder made. Take a look at my closet, yeah, see Gucci and Prada made, yeah. A nigga humble, but I ain't scared, no. Soon as you start getting money, them crackers come and get you. Double crossing, I gotta wear, Lord. Should've known better when it come to these bitches, can't get money all the time. Hoes in their pockets, many boy be dropping dimes. Young nigga world, a lot of murder on my mind. Gotta see it to believe it, cause your heart will have you blind. I done lost so many of my dogs, sometimes I have me crying. I'm a real street nigga, we not the same thing. 40 on my wrist and it's a plain Jane. Just to pay the rent, we had to slang cane. Hope nobody have to endure this pain. Yeah, product of my environment, we came from these streets, yeah. In my short time on this earth, I still ain't met a nigga fucking with me.
Alrighty, you're back on the Bitch Podcast with Bubba and Pink. Now, like I said earlier, and that was Trap Hamilton, there in that video. All right, now we got to talk about this Charleston White thing. I need to gather myself here.
Is this gonna take on like a Ben Simmons vibe?
It is.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh no.
This is and it has to be done. There's no other way. There's no other way around it. This has to happen.
Just gotta grin and bear it.
Now I'm gonna play a little short video clip of what Charleston White said. Okay, and then you'll see why. I'll tell you what. Just hand these over to her. She can hear it. Yeah.
Don't disturb the camera.
Oh no! I tell you what. You'll be able to hear it without those. You'll be able to hear it without those. Oh. Yeah. I'll make sure you be able to hear it. I'm sorry. All right. Now let me get to it here. Where are we at here? Where you at, Charleston? All right. Let me make sure the audio is up a little bit. There you go. Okay.
And he going to Bethune College. Bethune College is like a special ed HBCU. There ain't no motherfucking college you jump. He going to Bethune College. Bethune College is like a special ed HBCU. There ain't no motherfucking college you jump up and say, that boy going to the NFL. Nowhere in the history of Bethune College have anybody made it to the NFL. Nowhere in Bethune ain't never went nowhere from Bethune.
All right. Let me turn this down here. Now, Charleston White is a guy that I won't say enjoy, but I'm okay with Charleston White. I understand that Charleston White has a huge platform, and he has his way of talking to the black community, for the black community, and his way is through ignorance. Okay, and he believes that ignorance is the way to get inside and kind of get people to do what they should be doing. okay? And I understand that, and some people don't, but I do. And sometimes it lands, sometimes it doesn't. This particular clip, he was talking about Rick Ross's son and his mom, okay, and how they came about Bethune-Cookman, and et cetera. Charleston White, I'm trying to get it out, Pink. I can't even. I got so much to say.
Yeah.
I got so much to say.
Start somewhere. Or we won't get home tonight.
And we still might not get home tonight. I'm so pissed about this. You have no idea. I'm so pissed about this because he's so wrong. It's so inaccurate and it's misguided and all of that stuff. And I just wish that this one-eyed motherfucker would come on and have some sense when he's talking about Bethune-Cookman University, first of all, because it's not Bethune-Cookman College, it's Bethune-Cookman University, okay? Now, let me take this step by step. Now, he's talking about Bethune-Cookman has no NFL players. Well, that's just 0% accurate. We have a lot of NFL players, okay? Matter of fact, we're in the NFL Hall of Fame. Okay, not only cannot every HBCU say that, but it's a lot of Division I colleges that can't say that. We're in the Pro Football Hall of Fame, okay? We have players, just a year before me, we had a couple of players that were Pro Bowlers. Rasheed Mathis and Eric Weems not only are Pro Bowlers, okay? If you don't like the Pro Bowl, they were first team All-Pro. Do you know what first team All-Pro means? You are the best at your position, okay? And Rasheed Mathis is a cornerback. Eric Weems is a return man. They were in the era of the best at that time. Rasheed Mathis played when Darrell Revis played. Dawkins, all of those guys, okay? He was the best at his position when those guys were in the league. Eric Weems played during Devin Hester, the best return man of all time. Well, there was years when Devin Hester had to sit down because Eric Weems was the best in the league. If you can't believe it, it takes 5 seconds to Google, okay? All right. Now, not only just football, I mean, we just had the first HBCU guy ever to make the PGA Tour in golf, okay? We're Bethune-Cookman, not only sports, we're in academics. How many times we've been number 1 in psychology, okay? Criminal justice, all righty? All right, when you talk about HBCU, we talk about the band. You don't want to talk about the band when it comes to Bethune. We've had the number 1 band, God knows how many years, all right? And we never fall outside of the top 5, all right? It's just, not only was it inaccurate, but secondly, I hate when you draw negative attention and you have negative comments towards HBCUs, especially when it's just incorrect and not accurate. But because you have all of these kids, you have such a huge platform. You have all these kids, you have all of these mothers, okay, who have kids. And when they watch this video, they don't know much about Bethune-Cookman. They don't know much about HBCUs. But what they say is, damn, yeah, I'll never send my son to HBCU. I'll never send my son to Bethune. Look what Charleston is saying. Look what Ed Reed just said a couple of months ago with his crazy ass self, okay, and was off base. Hello, Ed Reed is still not on the coaching staff 10 months later. You want to know why? He's not a fucking coach material. But y'all want Bethune to take him in, okay? And it's just time after time we get all of this negative energy towards HBCUs, and I don't know why Bethune is always the fucking rag doll. I don't know what we did. Y'all come down here. You can't screw our women. You probably get beat up because guess what? Bethune-Cookman has the best street fighter to ever live. Kimbo Slice went to Bethune-Cookman, okay? You come down here, you can't screw our women. I understand you go to FAMU at Tallahassee. It's easy. You can screw anybody at Tallahassee, at FAMU. You know, you go out there, you go up to D.C., you go up to Howard. They're easy down there. I don't know why we continue to be the rag doll, but that shit needs to stop right now. And Charleston, you need to come and give us a free engagement or something. I don't know. You need to fucking donate some money because you're dead ass wrong.
Take his money, but fuck his engagement.
That'll bring money. So that's why I said that. You know, you don't have to give. We're not a charity. I'm not asking you to give money, but I'm just saying because you were just so off base here. I hate it. I hate it more so for the negative attention and comments, and also on top of that being incorrect, because there are so many people who don't know about Bethune-Cookman and don't know about HBCU culture, and they'll see that video and just it'll stick in their mind.
That'll be the only thing that they know.
It'll be the only thing that they know.
Yeah. Now, I'm not a fan of his. I mean, I get that every once in a while he'll stumble onto something insightful or maybe important to say or worth saying. But I think that he's just kind of like has a platform and he's an attention-mongering whore that really doesn't care about what he says as long as it generates content. I don't think he actually has any strong beliefs in anything other than embracing his own platform. He'll say some things that are correct or insightful once in a while. But again, here, he just kind of runs with something that's not accurate. He could probably feel the energy of the guy sitting next to him and like, yeah, just keep going. And like, that's what he reacts to. He's like Pavlov's dog, starved for attention.
Yeah.
I really don't respect what he does because there's no consistent message. I watched the majority of the big interview he had with Cam.
Mm-hmm.
And it just, if you listen to the whole thing, it's not consistently coherent. He's all over the place. Did he say some things that were interesting? Or yeah, I get that perspective or whatever. Absolutely. But there's no coherence to what he says. It's just stabbing for attention in the dark. He's at the titty bar with blind and just trying to grab a booty. Sometimes he gets one.
He only has one eye.
Yeah.
The one eye he does have, he probably got, or the other eye is probably got off Tamu. I don't know. Now, but I'm not in that camp that you're in.
Yeah.
Because I do believe that he has a consistent platform. I understand what he's doing, the message he is trying to portray, and that he is portraying. It's just, for me, the difference would be for me is that, I like some stuff just doesn't land for me, but the majority of it does. I'm not gonna lie. Probably about 90% of the stuff Charleston White says, I agree with.
What does he say that you would agree with, like right off the top?
Right off the top, the rappers thing. I really appreciate when he talks about the gangster rappers that the black community celebrate, that they love, but they're really destroying the black community, not only with just the words that they're saying, but these young rappers with the actual stuff that they're doing. Like some of the rappers that he talk about, and they don't like the way that he's talking about them. Like he'll say F them. Like some of these artists are dead now. These young artists, they're dead and not here anymore. And like I'm struggling to find the some of the names, but some of these artists are like King Von and the guy that was in California. Pop Smoke is another one. The big guy that was in California on the West Coast that a lot of people liked. He became this martyr. You'll know if I said his name. Nipsey Hussle. Okay. You know what I mean? Like Nipsey Hussle was a, huh?
Nipsey Hussle was kind of.
I know, because he was celebrated in the black community, but he was a gang member. He was a gang member. Yeah, he was a gang member, and
Like, I think that you have
no. His current, at the time he died, he was a current gang member who and that gang did terrible things in that neighborhood and in other neighborhoods. You know what I mean? If you are evolved, you are not a current gang member. You detach yourself from it. Like Snoop Dogg, he's not a current gang member. You know what I mean? So it's like, and in the black community, we celebrate all of those guys. We love those guys. Just like Nipsey, you don't hear nothing bad about Nipsey. You probably didn't even know anything bad about Nipsey, but it's. No, that's not true. See what I'm saying? but that's what we think about these guys. That's just one thing. But because you asked about one thing, but I understand that. Now before Charleston, I didn't think that way. He introduced a new way of thinking because.
Oh, you really didn't. Oh, yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, but I wanted to be a rapper. I was a rapper, I would say, whatever things that was just cool at the time. Like because you don't think about it, because when you grow up in the culture, Gucci Mane, Jeezy, like I love those guys. Lil Wayne, like I love all these guys.
Yeah.
But if you really think about what they're doing and if they are actually living what they're talking about, it's destroying the black community in every facet of the way.
Sure. No, but you had because we've talked too on the show, and I didn't know it came from Charleston, but that was the opening. But you had talked too about that certain music is promoted and it serves a destructive element, and you kind of had that. I thought you'd kind of arrived at that on your own.
No, because it's not. The words are bad. But it's more so about the guys that really are out doing it, because they're Plies words are bad, but nobody is in the hip hop culture believes he's actually doing those things.
Right.
So in that era is cool, but a lot of these newer artists, and he's really only talking about like the newer guys.
Like Young Thug.
Yeah, exactly.
So I feel for me, because I'm probably older than you guys, but I've listened to. I'm from New York, and I understand like there's like regional music.
Yeah.
I have to, when I'm listening to it, I'm not really necessarily thinking about what they're doing when they're not out, when they're
out of the studio.
I'm just thinking about the message that they're trying to convey in their music and the type of music. How does it make me feel when I listen to it?
Yeah.
So I get that part, but I think Tipper Gore may be the person that was talking about rap music before. Tipper Gore.
Who's that? Yeah.
It's Al Gore's wife, right?
Al Gore's wife.
She was talking about rap music and the destructiveness of rap music, like way before Charleston.
She was the one who was going against Tupac stuff, right?
She was going against every.
But back in that time, the '90s and whatever, yeah.
So, but I don't know. For me, him, like the way I guess I don't like his delivery.
It's very ignorant. It's that's the word for it. It's very ignorant. It's very brash. It's very harsh. It's very unnecessary. But to be honest, it's the best way to go to reach our community, and that's his core audience. You're not going to reach it any other way. Nobody has. Some of the community. And especially he's trying to reach the youth, and my belief is that's definitely the only way. He's not trying to reach us and whoever else. He's trying to reach the youth. And like for example, in this same clip earlier, like here I vehemently disagree and all of that, but he said something about 5 minutes earlier that was like so effing spot on, because he was talking about mentoring kids, right? And I mentor once a week at Winter Park Community Center. A shout out to those guys. And he was like, when you mentor kids, it's probably a couple of times a week, a couple of hours. And he's ultimately what he said was, you're really only putting a Band-Aid on that child's situation. Because if we mentor in a bad neighborhood or kids that's coming from a bad neighborhood. But really the only way to change things is to change his environment. So with his program, what they do is they work on getting the moms, those single mothers, jobs, getting their record expunged, getting them driver's license so they can get to and from work. If you change the kid's environment, that can sort of change their situation. All right, because you just coming in and helping them with their homework and trying to be the dad in it for 2 hours out of a week, it's not really going to do much. You know what I mean? Like,
but it matters, right?
Yeah.
Well, there's a value to it all.
All that little boy needs to see that there is an option, or that little girl needs to see that there are other options other than what's happening now. So
in there.
That's the thing. The thing with change is that, like, there are some kids that will respond to that 2 hours. Exactly. That it's enough to show them something, and they'll kind of go for it themselves. But then there's other folks that it's not going to be enough because they're just not in a position to receive that, and they're going to succeed more when you have a higher level of immersion in positive imagery and positive role modeling. And so it's all different ways. I mean, we could always, no life is too unimportant to save. I mean, if you have a positive impact on literally one person's life, that's good. But there is a question of scale, and scale is where you have at least a chance of really changing things on a societal, cultural level. And you have to kind of look at both. And if there's ways to dive into and say, well, yeah, let's change. And the biggest thing is whatever you say, like whatever big idea that a person has, everybody wants to say no. You'll never be able to do that. That's impossible. Right. It'll never work. They'll never do that. It's always the never. But it's like when somebody, dives in deep enough to make that change, and they have to believe in themselves and the cause of what they're doing in spite of the never, because everyone's going to give you the never. and it's to go in and do that. But I mean, the deeper that you can go into something with like immersion and tools to help people, the more you're going to help. It's just a mathematical thing. If you have a mentoring group with 5 mentors and you meet 15 kids for 2 hours, that's good. We can't dispute it. But if the resources are there to have 150 mentors and be able to create 20 hours a week that these kids are in a different environment, then the effect's going to be that much greater.
And I think also for because I'm a single mom,
Mm-hmm.
and I sought out different types of groups and things for my son. Like I had him in Kappa League. He didn't want to stay in Kappa League. I was like, you're going to Kappa League, right? So it's like and I understand there are moms that you have multiple kids and you don't have the time.
Yeah, you can't put all of the focus on, right?
It's hard, but for you or for anyone to even take 2 hours out of their month to do that, I think that when you have someone who's saying, well, that's not enough, that's enough for someone. So it should not be, he shouldn't be like, oh, you need to do more. Because sometimes people just don't have that extra time. But it's about the effect that you have on that child that should be the focus, not as much as the amount of time.
Yeah. No. That's fair. That's fair. For those who can't hear, she was just saying how basically it's 2 hours, like you said, out of a month can help a child versus what Charleston is saying about changing the environment. And like Pink says as well, some kids will react to that in a positive way. That time that you do spend in a mentoring session. Yeah, I think that's good. Don't forget, you are on the bench podcast with Bubba and Pink, home of sports, music, and mayhem. Let's get to a couple of sports topics before we get out of here. All right. Let's go here. Okay, this flag football thing with Patrick Mahomes. I think it started with the talks of having an Olympic flag football team, and then you started to hear some of those guys that play in these national flag football leagues kind of speak up and talk about it, wanting to be a part of it. Okay, and then I guess now they're starting to be interviewed, and this particular guy has said a couple of things here about Patrick Mahomes, who is the top quarterback. I know he's not being ranked as such in all of these NFL rankings, but he is the top quarterback in NFL. And basically, you're saying how Mahomes, he's a better flag football quarterback than Mahomes. And when asked why or how, he says that his IQ of the game makes him a better flag football player than Mahomes. And then Mahomes responded basically with a picture. No words, just a picture of 50 Cent looking crazy. Like, what are you talking about, man? Because when you and I can only imagine. I was listening to the radio with 3 former. It's like T.J. Houshmandzadeh and 2 other former NFL guys. They have this radio show, and they were talking about the Olympics, NBA, and then they went to like, oh, if they had an NFL Olympics, a football Olympics, like we're so far ahead of the field, it wouldn't even be a contest. If it was actual padded football versus all these other countries, it wouldn't even be a contest. And then when you think about like flag football, that would take away the other countries would be able to compete a little better when you take the physicality and stuff like that out of the game. They'll be able to compete a little better.
Well, I mean, what a lot of people don't understand, I mean, like, NFL football is insanely mental game.
Yeah.
There's so many adjustments and everything is so complicated in that game. And it's evolved from like, the wing tee and the wishbone years and years and years ago to what it is now. And, there's like a institutional national knowledge of playing tackle football that no other country approaches. And really, like, it's what we had in basketball for a long time. And eventually there's it's been closed a bit, but the reality is, even with close games, we've won the last 5 gold medals and we won a bunch before that. And, so, yeah, if we just played 11-man football, it would be a disaster. Now, here's the thing. I have no earthly idea in what other countries is flag football particularly popular. I don't know. I mean, maybe there is some thriving flag football in some other countries. But I mean, in some ways, I don't think flag football is evolved as much as NFL football. There's a lot of reasons for that. But it's essentially a largely passing game.
Would you say rugby is closer to flag football than
No.
it is actual NFL football?
No.
The actual
No.
tackle football. You think it's the other way around?
No, what
you think it's closer? I'm just
Yeah.
in that situation.
No, I think that what the other thing that we're kind of ignoring here is that, like, 7-on-7, and I don't know the Olympic format. I don't know it.
Right,
but
right.
if it's 7-on-7 flag football, every kid of the last 8 or 10 years coming through high school
Has played
prospects has
flag
played a
football.
lot
Yeah.
of it. It is huge right now.
Yeah, especially
and,
with
and a
kids.
lot of a lot of off-season stuff is 7v7 with higher level players, and that's how you work on a passing game. You take out the linemen and the protections, and you basically play flag football. So that a lot of that's connected to the NFL game. Now, there are probably some rules, some tactical things that are commonplace in high-level professional flag football that aren't always a part of 7v7 and the way NFL might develop some passing game stuff in the sevens. But I think, like, the language and the technique and then again the skill are there to adapt quickly. And
Yeah.
so, like, what else is this guy say? The only thing he can say is IQ of the game. He can't talk about physical tools,
Yeah.
But the reality is, Pat Mahomes is brilliant mentally. I mean, he can adapt and learn and do things. And again, if he's playing with other kind of NFL guys, they can kind of shorthand and figure a lot of stuff out
Yeah.
and tweak it. Now, the legitimate question is, how much time would Pat and anybody in the NFL like put into preparing to play? And you'd hope if they're going to do it that they would commit to actually prepare, work some stuff out, and get some legitimate game time doing it. So theoretically, if you were to take a professional all-star flag football team that does this on a week-to-week basis, and we got 10 NFL guys and we played this Sunday, it might not be as dominant as you would think, because there's probably a few things that those guys could leverage tactically that the other, the NFL guys would have to sort of catch up with or adapt to. But if you give them some training buildup, I don't see that there's a chance that these other guys are going to, be able to hold the line against them.
Yeah.
But I think that would carry over to anybody on the other, any other country. I mean, I would say this. I mean, unless there's some hotbed of flag football internationally that I don't know about. I mean, you could probably let Buddy and his friends go and they'd win the gold medal.
Yeah.
But I said to you before the show, like, as an Olympic spectacle, having the high name NFL guys in the Olympics, you're going to get eyes on that you're not going to get, with a bunch of guys that just ply this craft, week to week.
If you just pair like Mahomes and Tyreek back up, like the reunion.
That's what I'm saying. You
like,
have
that
so
would
much.
be-
You have the reunion.
Like people would, yeah.
You could bring Kelsey out there for the hell of
Yeah,
it,
just for the
and
hell
like
of it.
throw in Justin Jefferson. Like,
Yeah.
the weapons could be ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's
It's like it'll be like the Pro Bowl nobody watches, but everybody will watch this.
yeah, exactly. Well, because why? Because we're competing against other countries.
Yeah.
And you kind of get patriotic when you watch some of that stuff.
Yeah.
It's like that was I think we talked about it the other day, like with the basketball, like who would be on the Olympic team that like you don't like week to week in the NBA, but when you put on that USA jersey and you're playing against another country,
You're
like,
rooting for 'em,
who do you hate so much that you still wouldn't like him?
Yeah.
That's a tough question. You tend to like, hey, I like this guy.
Yeah.
I mean, his whole career, I was never a big Carmelo Anthony guy.
Yeah.
But Olympic Carmelo Anthony, man, I want you to hit this.
My answer is still Ben Simmons and Tobias. Yeah, they were there. Yeah.
Tobias, I get it. But Ben
Yeah.
Simmons would suit up for Australia if he did.
Yeah, I know.
So
Yeah.
he's
Tobias Harris.
Yes.
Bubba hates Tobias Harris.
Yeah.
I mean,
You do too?
he's like useless.
He's very useless.
He has a lot of money to do these mediocre at best.
That's. I mean, you just warmed my heart. I mean,
Bubba might be getting around.
I've been waiting so long for someone to share my sentiments.
There might be some unintended
I don't think she's ever heard me talk about Tobias. And
Clearly, she hasn't.
She just summed up what I would take 2 hours to say in 30 seconds. And that's exactly how I feel about him.
2 hours of vitriol and resentment and anger. And,
yes, but I no longer have to think about that.
Yeah.
So that is good for me.
Wait, did he end up? What team did he end up on?
Detroit.
Okay.
Yeah. And
Scamming them up there.
he got exactly what he deserved. Yeah, he is scamming them, but at least he'll be miserable doing so.
Losing 50 games.
Or more than that.
Yeah, could be.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to the next one here. What we had here? Oh, Ant-Man. Yeah. All right, so Anthony Edwards, he's been on the tear with some of these remarks. Lately he talked about when asked if he's going to do the 2 year, what's the 2 year? The FIBA World Cup.
Yeah.
He said, hell no.
Yeah.
He's only an Olympic guy. And now he's saying, I don't think anybody had skill back then. Michael Jordan was the only one that really had skill. On the 90s, you already have Isaiah Thomas that come out. And really all he said was, be careful. Be careful what you. I don't know what that meant, but like, be careful what you say.
Many disagreed.
It's like that's a weird response. I don't know. Are you saying you're gonna come out and fight him? I don't know.
It is. I mean, it's such a. It's a ridiculous comment. It's a ridiculous conversation. It's you're not going to. The way the game's played now is much different than it was. But to say that nobody had skill, that's also not really accurate. Yeah. I mean, I just think you look at guys, whether it was like Kevin McHale and Olajuwon post moves. I mean, current guys still go to Olajuwon to learn footwork and post moves. I mean, that's just a fact. That's a skill.
I mean, Embiid did.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, he's still a valued resource in that area. Mm-hmm. Kevin McHale had an incredible post-up game, variety of scoring, a very technical game. He wasn't leaping over people or overpowering them.
Would you? I would consider him more of an 80s to 90s, but of course he played in the 90s, so whatever.
Yeah, I mean, if we're asking, decade specific becomes a little nitpicky, to me.
Yeah, but technically he played in the 90s.
Yeah, played into the 90s. Yeah, I mean, Magic Johnson in the past. It's weird. I think we talked about this. Like, there's not a ton of great passers in the game.
Yeah.
There's good passers, but it's not great. When you go back, I mean, you talk like Larry Bird, Magic Johnson were artistic passers. Even our guy locally, Jason Williams, is probably late 90s, early 2000s. I mean, he was like an amazing passer, amazingly skillful.
Yeah.
Like, and to me, that's why I hate these type of statements, because they're just kind of like blandly ignorant of what guys did. Now, there is, the game has evolved in a way that you have, certain, skill packages now that weren't necessarily popular then. Like, now every good player has like Euro step, every good player has float game, every good player has, kind of like off-tempo finishing moves and stuff like that. That it's all stuff that, that's kind of evolved, and once somebody starts doing it, then it becomes the thing to add to your game, which is what players should do. But it's like it doesn't mean that there was no skill back then. They're not doing the same skills you're doing now. But that's what they were.
Now, it's very boring versus watching it in the 80s and the 90s.
So you and Carvis would get along well.
Yeah, Carvis loved the 80s and 90s.
Wait a minute, Carvis, his son plays Scooter?
I don't know.
His son does play ball, but his son is very young, so I don't know.
He's from Pine Hill?
No.
That's Carvis. I know Carvis.
You know a Carvis? Okay.
But yeah, so I don't really like watching the NBA because
Really?
I'm not a big fan of LeBron. I'm not a big fan of I like the younger teams, the younger guys.
Yeah.
So I like Anthony Edwards. I like Jay Morant.
I don't want to be a prisoner of an era of basketball. I enjoy basketball. I enjoyed what I watched in the 80s and 90s when I was growing up. I enjoy what I see now. It's you just kind of change with the game and stay relevant. I have no interest in arguing to somebody that the 90s was better basketball. It doesn't matter. I enjoyed what was going on then, but it's like I'm not going to sit here and spend time resenting how people play now. I mean,
I just think that it's just.
I felt a little resentment coming from that chair.
I prefer college ball. I'll watch college
See,
ball.
if college ball was abolished tomorrow, I wouldn't miss it. It's horrific. It's overcoached. It's overcoached.
I hate college
the
ball.
majority of the players suck. It's dudes running around with their chicken like their heads cut off. It's awful.
In my opinion, the only time it's really watchable on a national scale is when not even March Madness so much, especially nowadays, is if they create a star, or if you follow a guy from high school like Cooper Flagg, I'll catch his big games. You know what I mean? If there's a star and he's playing in a big game in college, I'll watch it. But outside of that, man, it is very hard to watch. Now, as far as this topic here, I am a argument era guy. You know, more so back in the day than nowadays.
I'm well aware.
Now, the problem with here is I think the core problem nowadays, you have to be so strong on a statement. People feel the need to be so strong on a statement for it to land that you have to do this. You have to go. You feel the need to say, "Oh, nobody had skill back in the day, but MJ." But really, all he's trying to say is, you know, the guys in today's game should be revered more because more guys. I'm playing against more skilled guys than MJ played against. You should tip the scale when you're talking about who's better from in this era versus that era, because I'm playing against more skilled guys. That's all he's really trying to say. But because
and I'm an Ant guy, but you know, go win something besides being a bench guy in the gold medal team.
That's fine.
But because he's
that's what it is.
You have to. Yeah, he feels the need. You have to say that. And
But
the
see,
truth
like,
is, there are more skilled. There are a ton more skilled guys. That don't make them better, but there are a ton more skilled guys in today's game than there were back then. It just is what it is. What does that mean?
Right. It means nothing.
Question.
It means nothing. And I don't think he needs to make this statement at all. Like, Anthony Edwards is like great young player, like charming, charismatic guy. But this does not advance him in any way. You know, it's okay, great. You know, you get a couple clicks today. I mean, what the fuck? Like, and again, and this is the cycle of accomplishment in sports. You are on the come up. Everything's interesting. You're new. You're exciting. You're fun. Then you're going to reach a phase, and he's getting to the cusp of the phase where you got to win something. And even when you win something, people are going to say negative shit about you because you're in the prime of your career. That's what happens. And then if you're good enough on the back end, people love you again because they're almost sorry to see you go. And when we really feel that LeBron's going, like when we really know, everyone's going to feel different. Everyone's going to take stock and be like, damn, this is over.
I already feel more love than LeBron. I'm talking, not me personally. I'm talking about I can see that he's been receiving more love now, more so than, like you said, maybe 5 years ago when he was dead. You know.
And another thing, like being the Olympic hero and not just the fucking Laker guy was huge.
Added something.
And he knew this meant something. That's why he took it so seriously.
Yeah.
But he was fully aware that there was a lot on the line here. This sets the stage for the final phase of his career.
Yeah.
You know, a glorious moment leading this team to an Olympic gold medal, and then now, like, whatever he's able to accomplish with the Lakers, maybe a couple good moments with his son, and then we really know, hey, this is winding down. But
did you think that also helped? Because I felt like that he had a lot of negative backlash with his son getting drafted, like his.
Yeah, there was a lot of talk about it, a lot of a lot of white noise about it. But yeah, when you saw the way he played in the Olympics, you know, and it spoke for itself, as it should. You know, all these other like clickbait topics, you know, this quote, the Bronny stuff, who gives a shit? Like, it's what you do on the court, and he delivered that, and for that we're grateful.
You know what's funny about that? I don't think LeBron received much backlash over the Bron. I think Bronny received backlash over Bronny.
Well, yeah, I don't think it was targeted. Like, there wasn't negative directed at LeBron. Like, you did this, you're you know, whatever. But it was just this talking
Yeah.
point
It was
that
definitely
was out there, and I think Bronny is at the
Noise.
tip of the spear of that. But there's just there's like it was just beautiful to watch him play like he did in the Olympics and win. And to me, it definitely, like, for a lot of people, you just feel that love again and feel good. And we know, like, unless you're deaf, dumb, and stupid, there's plenty of those people. We're entering, like, it's year to year.
Yeah.
Like, how much longer is this going to be here for us?
What is interesting and funny about that is, though, Lakers are not a good NBA basketball team, and if they try, so they're going to lose games anyhow. They're going to be in the play-in, conversation. But if they force minutes to Bronny and lose games that they were going to lose anyhow, it could turn the tide on the LeBron talk, because people are going to just automatically assume it's LeBron trying to get Bronny on the court.
Yeah.
And that it could change again.
Yeah, they're
going
to have to manage that.
So I don't know how.
Yeah, they're going to have to manage
to
that.
avoid that, they should just stick him in the G League and just.
Well, I think that's the plan, but there's going to be, he's a big enough personality and a big enough story that he will play for the Lakers this year at some point.
That's
in
what
some role.
I would. Yeah,
I think the majority of his time is going to be in the G League, but at some point he's going to do it. But I do think they have to be very tactical about how they do it. Maybe pick a window of time when the roster is depleted, you got a bunch of guys injured or whatever, and it's we'd basically be pulling up a street free agent or a G League guy anyway. Well, we're gonna pull up Bronny now. Don't force it. It can't be felt forced.
That's what I'm saying.
And
if it is
like the Lakers are playing on Christmas Day, and guess what? Bronny gets called up, because the G League's out for 3 weeks, and we're gonna get him 12 minutes, against Denver. Like, no, you can't do it that way. Yeah. It's got to be somewhat organic, and I think you got to manage the situation. And I think, I don't think a lot of enough energy or intelligence is applied into managing these situations. And it kind of starts with this quote. To me, this is a dumb, pointless quote. It doesn't advance Anthony Edwards at all. I'm not saying it's a bad thing or he's going to get bashed over it, but it's just irrelevant. Yeah. And then, like the Bronny thing, how do we introduce him to the team? Like, how do we make this work where it doesn't come off as a force, it doesn't appear to impact or compromise our results or objectives as a team? And again, he's got to do his part by being ready and be able to do something. He can't go out there and have 3 turnovers and go 0 for 2 and look like he clearly doesn't belong. Yeah. So he's got to be at a level, and they got to manage it. I mean, they've got to see like how he's developing and have a good level of comfort that, okay, if we put him in, what's that?
Not badly.
Oh,
injured.
he is a little injury.
You talking about Bronny, right? Yeah. Not badly injured. He's good. He'd be good for the start of the season.
Yeah. But that's my thought on that.
From one NBA player with those quotes to another, Damian Lillard was on a podcast recently, and he was just talking about his career. Of course, Damian Lillard is a guy who's probably out of his prime. He's out of his prime for sure, on the back end of his career. And so he wants more shine. He wants more credit. He wants more love. He says he believes his skills deserve more recognition in the league. Okay, he talked about how when you think about the players who came in around the same time he did, a lot of those guys aren't around anymore.
Who are those?
Some
players?
of those guys aren't performing at the same level. I'm gonna get there, and then he says he doesn't get enough credit for his shot making. He says, of course, if you want to put Curry 1, you can put Curry 1, but he definitely feels he should be this, in the conversation for the second greatest shooter ever, and especially when you talk about deep shots, contested shots, he feels like he is not respected enough or gets enough love, and he feels like he is a winner. He says, I've won in Portland and did things like that. So what do you think about that?
Again, manage your life. It's an idiotic statement. You will never get the respect you crave if you ask for it. Respect is earned, not asked for. And
do you think he deserves it?
No. I mean, he's been a really good player for some very average Portland teams. In the hierarchy of NBA greatness, that doesn't measure up. I mean, he's for me probably a Hall of Fame career. But
That's not saying much because you put everybody in there.
No, I respect a man's career. Like, I mean, he's had his fantastic statistics. Almost all of his career was on winning record teams. He did have some playoff success, some playoff moments, not at the super high level, but I have no problem. This guy, again, he also represents a guy that, kind of came from like the off the radar college and kind of ground his way to NBA stardom. I respect all that. You've had a great career, but what do you deserve beyond that? You're not a champion. You're not a guy that's regarded as the top player in your position ever in your career. You mentioned the football thing. Mm-hmm. Like, what year in NBA history has he even been the best point guard in the Western Conference, let alone the first team All NBA?
The league, yeah.
You've never been in an MVP discussion,
right? Ever.
Like, this is what you are. Don't ask for more. Do more.
I'm more of a Dame Lillard guy than Peak is traditionally. I do respect Dame's game a lot, but I still think that these comments were just completely misplaced. But from this standpoint, if you're going to be a get the bag guy, and in the NBA, we know they created the rule: you stay with your team, you get the super max, okay, and only your team can pay you more than any other team can pay you at that time. He's a get the bag guy. Get the bag guys cannot complain when their career is basically done and say, "Oh, I need my love just because I didn't win the big one doesn't mean I don't." No, you got the bag. Be satisfied with the bag, because you could have left 4 years ago and went to Milwaukee, and you could have been a prime Damian Lillard with a prime Giannis.
On that title team.
On that title team. But you wanted to get the bag. You could have went to several championship contending teams, took a little less money. It's not you're not taking $200 million less money. You're taking a little bit less, like KD did, like LeBron did, like these other guys who left their situation because they know that their team wasn't going to have enough talent to compete on that championship level.
No, I agree. I mean, and I said this a couple years ago on the show. I think there's a part of Dame Lillard, like in the prime of his career, that was afraid. That was afraid to put championship expectations on himself. To be in a team or a situation where it's like, you either win the title or this is a disappointment. And I think he took the comfort and familiarity of Portland. He took the bag in Portland, and he played out the prime of his career. When they clearly went into like, we are rebuilding mode, then he goes to Milwaukee, but also not a great Milwaukee team anymore. You lose Drew Holiday in the trade to get you, and Giannis is not what he was a few years ago, and that's this is not really a title contending team. So you kind of maybe put yourself in Portland plus, but not title 10.
Yeah, and you converted me into a Giannis guy. But Giannis made one of those LeBron mistakes, really champion that trade after you just won a championship with Drew, and I know it's Dame, and Dame has that aura and he has that name, but you have to see that he's past his prime, and it's only going to go downhill from there. If you're Giannis, you have to see that, like I just won a championship with Drew locking down like the entire backcourt of every team we played. I understand Dame is a better offensive player. I don't know if he was thinking like, because a lot of the talk was, pick and rolls, Dame and Giannis. Yeah. Maybe he's thinking that, but like why change that up?
Right.
You're one of the top defensive teams. You lean on defense. You're a defensive stalwart. Drew is. Brook Lopez protects the paint well at that time. That was just a huge mistake, and like I said, LeBron has made that mistake several times in his career.
Yeah,
and it was just a bad one because, and by all accounts and by all records, Giannis was the first one with his hand up, like
pushing
make this deal.
Yeah, no, a really bad mistake, and I think that the failure of the Bucks since the title, for me, has more to do with the poor health and diminished ability of Middleton than anything else.
Yeah.
He was
Yeah.
Very good in those days. And he's missed a lot of time. He's had a lot of stretches where he hasn't been playing at a high level.
Yeah.
And that, I mean, Drew's Drew. He's still Drew. Giannis, I think there are signs of decline with Giannis.
Yeah.
But Middleton was the third piece of that. He's fallen off the most for me personally in terms of performance. And that's why they're in the situation. And the Lillard, it was, again, stop going for these aging fucking guys and thinking that their resume is going to equate with a super team. It just doesn't work that way.
It just doesn't, man. It just doesn't. The best thing I ever heard you say, which hasn't been many.
I was about to say this is like a deep, deep well of stuff.
It's the why, talking about the tiers of contracts in NBA, and the guys on the back end of their careers are eligible to make the most money, and that just doesn't make any. When you said that, that doesn't make any sense. Why come Damian Lillard at the end of his career, guys, whatever, 12, 15 plus years in the league, can make more money than Anthony Edwards, than Victor Wembanyama, and like Wembanyama on this next contract that he signs, he should be able to be the highest paid player in the league.
Yes,
it shouldn't
agreed.
be because this guy played whatever 10 years plus in the league. He's eligible for a super max, 15 years in the league. That's dumb.
Yeah, it's not good business.
It's tied to years of service and performance, like all NBAs and things of that nature.
But the reality is like a super max for a guy with 10 or 12 years experience is going to be way higher than a super max for a guy going to his first non-rookie deal contract. But that guy is in the prime of his career.
Yeah,
that makes sense. Like
it's upside down.
But
if
if you think about like who runs like the Players Association.
The older guys.
Like Chris Paul, the older guys. Like they're getting what they want. Increase the veterans minimum, those sort of issues, because those are close. It's hard on those guys.
And the young guys aren't really complaining because they came from nothing. They're getting whatever, $20 million.
Yeah, they're new money. And they're just happy to be along for the ride. And in their mind, most of them are like, well, I'm going to be there one day. And I'll be getting that damn.
Do you think that the agents are getting hip to that and they're trying to change that?
I don't think the agents have any power in that, because it's not that they care or don't care. It's part of the collective bargaining agreement between the league and the Players Association. Mm-hmm. So that's where that fight is fought. Once you agree to that collective bargaining agreement, that's what it is. Yeah. So when they reopen that, but again, you're still sitting there like the Players Association guys with leverage are the veteran guys. They're respected for their knowledge, experience, and again, you look at that thing too. Like they're like the idols of half the younger dudes in the league who are kind of finding their way. So they're not going to be like, hey, fuck you, Chris. I think you're bullshit on this. I need to make more money than you. Like it's just not a realistic scenario.
That's why the NFL is so screwed. Because their whole contract situation is just god awful. And it has so much to do with that players union and the way they set it up, and the guys on the because the majority rules in the NFL, and the majority of the players are the guys who are fringe NFL players, the back end guys.
Oh, yeah.
So when they vote for things, they can't make a stand and almost like shut out, have a league cancellation, because most of those guys are the ones that are voting, and it's like they can't withstand a season or two off.
The majority of the players in the NFL, because the careers are so short and so fickle, are like fringe guys. Yeah. And so they can't suffer a lockout. They can't
lockout is the word I was
do too many things negotiation wise, because they're desperate to stack that money.
Yeah, exactly.
Before they're out of the league.
So is it true that the football contracts are
not guaranteed? Right.
It's
it depends, right? So there's only two fully guaranteed contracts in the NFL right now, and before that there were none. So Kirk Cousins was the first, but his current contract is not guaranteed. And now you have Deshaun Watson, who is fully guaranteed. Yeah. There's two people that are fully guaranteed, and the rest no. But you do have of course you have a certain portion of your contract that is guaranteed. That's why they say guaranteed money is the counts.
When you see an NFL contract, you're gonna say, well, 3 years for $50 million, and then like the biggest thing you're gonna look at is, well, 21 guaranteed.
Boom.
A lot of that will come in like a signing bonus, which will be a lump sum check. So you get 21 out of the 50. But then for the actual season, you're maybe making like $9 million per year per season.
And of course, you're heavily taxed because it's on that 21.
Yeah.
Especially depending on what state you're in.
And then you can also do the contract's usually built in so they could maybe cut you after year 2, so they don't even end up paying that third year, and you don't get that money.
Yeah.
So you're walking away with through 2 years you get $40 million. You're never touching the 3 for 50. Which is what went out in the press release.
And then the biggest thing is the retired players wanting health benefits because it's such a brutal sport. By the time you're done, your body is all screwed up. But it's such a sticking point for the owners, to where you're going to have to like really make a stand to get that. And the current players, they just don't think that far down the line. They want their money now, and it's like we have other things to fight for versus health benefits after we're retired. And then once they get retired, they're like, shit, really need
should have voted a little differently during that meeting.
Health benefits.
Car dealership, and then you gotta get insurance.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But yeah, that's
the only reason. I remember my son wanted to play football.
Yeah.
I wasn't thinking that far ahead, but I just kept thinking about his body and his brain.
Right.
Yeah.
I just feel like football is going to become a sport for the poor people, for people that are less advantaged. Like
Eventually, you think that's what it's going to go into?
I think people that are more affluent will allow their kids to play.
That's a fair point. That you're saying that down the line you think it's going to football is going to be a sport for poor people. But here go the thing about that is, in America, football is king. Like it's so prominent. I'm not sure that I don't know. It'll have to be a long time from now. We won't be here if that happens.
I'm not saying like. Here's the reality. I think is I think we're already kind of there. Like if you look at like most more affluent parents, they're already of a mindset pushing their kids to basketball or soccer or baseball because of the CTE concerns. And when we're talking about families that have good income level and education, and they kind of know the consequences of football. Like they watch and they know, like it's not just whatever. And then I would really say, with the exception of quarterback, that the majority of the league comes from lower economic class.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure on that. Just because football and basketball are the two main sports played in the hood. So just as many NFL players you'll be able to name that come from, poor neighborhoods, bad situations, I'll be able to match you with the NBA guys. Now, soccer and baseball, I'm not, I don't know about those sports.
Yeah.
But that's the only thing, and because that's what's played every day. So.
But basketball is played widely. But what I'm saying, like, if you look at, the more affluent demographic, like they're not pushing their kids into football unless it's to be a quarterback. If their kid's not going to be the quarterback, that's it. Now, I mean, little variants. If you're like a retired NFL guy and you're whatever. I played linebacker for the Giants for 5 years, and my son's similar and whatever. You're probably gonna go with it. But again, I grew up playing football. Really enjoyed football. Kids played 1 year at Pop Warner, but like it was already in my mind. Like I'm definitely not pushing them into football. They'd have to pull. Here's the thing, my kids would have had to pull me into football more than I pushed them.
But here goes the Austin Rivers thing. It's just a ton of those guys are just not going to make it in basketball or in baseball. Yeah. Those are harder sports to play. I don't care what these NFL guys say. And the truth of the matter is, quite a few of those basketball guys who never play football, they still come over it when they can't make it in the NBA. Like,
for sure.
When they're a junior or senior playing college basketball at wherever, and this is not going to happen for me. they go over to the NFL.
Yeah, maybe everybody tight end or whatever. I
that's
get
still
it.
going to be an option.
No, but it's really not. It's not. We're not arguing that football's that there's gonna be a loss of interest in playing football.
Yeah.
There's gonna be plenty of people
Just
that
the
want to
families.
play it.
I understand.
But the noticeable distinction is gonna be that, and I think it's already at work.
Yeah.
That a lot of the more affluent, like okay, I mean like
I know you're right, because as you both talking and I'm thinking of players, is like mostly quarterbacks, and like you said, and that makes sense.
Well, look at B Rich.
Yeah. Quarterback. I know.
He's not like he's not like his son's not going to be a fucking nose tackle.
Yeah.
It just ain't happening.
Yeah.
If that's.
I also talk about the fact that even because my son played AAU, and how it's like pricing out people who don't have, who aren't as affluent for their kids to play.
Oh yeah, golf,
baseball,
yeah.
In that sense where.
Well, all the sports are pricing out because like there's a reality of skill work, and this kind of supports Ant's thing that like you're not going to get to the level if you just show up and play AAU games.
Yeah.
Like most kids that are like prospects, they're working with individual trainers.
Yeah.
Like from middle school, high school at a pretty serious level. We know like Lee and Daryl and the TNT guys, and that they're working with a lot of young kids that have aspirations to play and compete. And the reality is like if you're just, if you don't have the financial resources to do that, or you can't, and I don't know, maybe some of these guys, if there's a guy that's financially disadvantaged, but they really believe in him as a player, they might take him on and work with him. I would imagine that might happen on some level, but like, if you don't have the resources to get yourself in those situations, like you're just going to fall behind.
And it's not just training for, with your basketball like TNT or those guys. Now you got to go to a conditioning coach, and you have to have all these different coaches with basketball. I just remember, like, just for the season, I might spend $5,000 to $7,000.
That's nuts, spending $5,000 to $7,000.
But if you have a kid who has some ability and you want to give him a chance, that's the cost of doing business.
Is it?
Yes. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
I hear you. I know those things cost. I know that. But so, because this kind of goes to the Ant thing too, because back when I was growing up, that wasn't the case.
Right.
So what are you saying? We can't have any like natural guys who are just naturally gifted to play the sport. You think they'll still be behind?
Yeah, they'll be behind.
Huh?
They're gonna get overlooked.
Yeah.
Because they're not going to these showcases and all these.
But what if they perform when they do get in AAU, when they do get in these high school basketball? Because
there's like another level of politics involved in that.
There's the politics matter, and like
I don't think so. I
they
disagree.
do.
And I don't have any kids, of course.
No, the politics are
but I
huge.
disagree, because I'm talking. If a guy can fucking play ball, a guy can play ball, right? Mm. And like, I'm trying to figure out a nice way to say it, but like, some kids that are doing all of this training and they're just never going to make it in.
I agree with
probably
you.
most of them. And then when you compare it to just the guy that's naturally talented, don't have any money, but he's just playing the games, doing it whatever the old school natural way, I think he still has a better shot at those guys if he performs.
He has a better shot than the guy. I mean, there are parents making bad investments every day. Your kid just doesn't have the talent, doesn't have the size, and will never get there. But you're paying, and again, maybe because you have the money, you're paying for the speed trainer. The trainers that they'll take the money. Exploitation. But again, I'm not in the training business, but I suspect that some of these trainers, if they really love what's going on, they're going to take enough of these paying clients here to pay their bills and make a living. And if they see the guy that you're talking about, they'll work with him. But my thing is, you're not going to get good enough if you're not in the setting. If you're not, if you're not training like that, if you're not, playing in the right level games to get developed, that's the big thing.
Did you coach during this big training era?
No, not really.
So what did you recommend your players to do? like in the off seasons and the whatever.
The good players do it themselves. Like they work on. They just go and work. Like the kids we had at Trinity that were good for us. Like I always said, you know how good your team is when practice ends. And if everybody walks to the locker room and leaves the gym, you're not very good. If you finish practice and dudes pick up the ball and start shooting and start doing different stuff, and you're like, guys, we got to get the F out. They're going to turn the lights off.
Right.
Then you're pretty good because those guys have that. But like what I'm talking about, there are, good athletic high level kids that are getting training, and getting going. And if you have that, the gap just widens versus the kid. I mean, honestly, it's what it is in the GM5. Yeah. It's like you have the guys that have like played legit college basketball, maybe legit pro basketball. They make plays and process the game in a completely different way than a guy who had a funky high school career because of bad grades and, still loves hoops and whatever. There's plays that they don't make. I remember John Thompson, and I remember he blocked a shot to win the Goldenrod League for us. And the way he read the floor and the way things were going to work and the time, I was like, there's no way a player who hasn't played high-level basketball makes that block. And it didn't have anything to do with physicality. It had to do with his ability to read that situation, see what was happening, reduce the options on the floor to the player, when he knew, all right, this is the only thing you can do. Time, circumstance, position on the court. That's that, understanding of the game at a high level. Now, the sport where this is really big is is soccer. Like what you have, you have kids nowadays in America, they have their trainer, they have this, they have that, they have the stuff. But what they often don't have is the environment where you're playing against and with good enough players, like consistently, like you do in a European academy, to get as good as you can get. And that's kind of where we're not at, and so that's that, when you're immersed in it and you're playing that high level competition, do or die shit day after day after day, training game, you're going to grow exponentially, versus, here where you're doing the training stuff, you're doing that, but you're on this like uneven team and you're, some guys are doing what you're doing and other guys are not.
I had spoken to a recruiter, and he was for soccer.
Yeah.
He has some academy or whatever in Europe, and we were just talking because my nephew plays.
Yeah.
And I think he plays at a high level. He's going back to England to play, but he told me they don't even look to America for recruiting for soccer. In Europe. Yeah. It's like if you come from America to play over there, you have to be like elite.
Yeah.
And like people here spending thousands and thousands of dollars sending their kids to different academies in the U.S. thinking that they're going to get to that same level as Europe, and they're not even.
They're kidding themselves.
Playing that type of competition.
Can you close the gap as a parent?
The gap is closing to a degree. I mean, you go back 15 years, there were 2, 3, 4 players in Europe from America. Now the majority of our national team is based in European teams. I mean, there is a closing of the gap. I mean, we have young players going abroad, consistently. We just had a 14, 15-year-old kid signed by Man City. So the gap is closing, but there's a gap, and there's a reason for the gap. And so, you got to get, where it's like a thing that you're, enough kids are pushing this at the high level, so it pulls everybody up who's in this, in that system to a level of play that is super high.
Is the gap closer to what USA basketball is to Europe, or NFL would be to?
It's between the two.
It's in between the two?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, like you look at the national team results. Like, we're typically a team that, gets out of group play in the tournament but never makes it far. Mm. Our most common World Cup finish in the modern era is we get out of our group, we play one game and go home. Which amounts round of 16. Yeah. One time we made the round of 8 in 2002. That's about it. And we've been stuck in that space. We haven't made a Final Four. We haven't made a final of a major international tournament. And that's kind of where that is, But, we've got a new coach, though, who's should be interesting. They hired a foreign coach who has, like, good pedigree at high-level clubs. And so we'll see if he makes a significant difference.
All righty. Well, we're going to end the show there. We'll catch you guys next week on the bench.